Good afternoon. Today is the 27th of June, and we're going to be continuing today our series of looking at cars that I would buy for certain occasions and budgets. This is suggested originally by Matt from the Matt's Beamer YouTube channel. Most of you will have seen him comment on a lot of these videos already, and just to say that the car that I would have chosen out of the ones yesterday was the Saab 900. It looked very, very nice indeed, and Matt even checked the MOT history for me, and it looked fine. So yes, for £990, I think a Saab 900 is a very sound classic investment if you can find a nice one. So what we're going to do today is up the budget for finding a modern classic registered between 1980 and 1999 to £2,000. We're going to stick with the parameters that I mentioned yesterday. The car must not be written off. The car must have at least a partial service history if possible. The car must have done no more than 100,000 miles, and it must have a current MOT. That might seem a little bit strict for some of you, but that's just the way that I would personally do it. We're looking at buying a car that I would use. I'm not looking at it as if I'm doing it for a client necessarily, although I would recommend all these things anyway to them. This is the sort of thing that I would get for myself. First of all, looking only within a 50-mile radius of where I'm based in Eastleigh, I've found something that will make Matt from Matt's Beamer very happy indeed. It's an E46 BMW 328i. It's got full service history. It's done 88,000 miles from new. It's a 1999 model, and it is up for £1,850. The MOT lasts until March, so that's all very good. You can buy E46 3 Series for not much money at all. But if you want a nice one like this, then you're going to have to pay a little bit more. And I'll let Matt tell me in the comments what he thinks of this one. Next, we have one of those cars that is just a quintessential modern classic. And it is a 1999 Mazda MX-5. This is the NB type, the second generation car. It's done 84,000 miles. It's got a new MOT, even comes with a 6-month warranty, although I don't know what the warranty covers. It's always good to be careful about those things. Yes, it looks pretty nice. I imagine it's got some kind of service history on it. It's kind of the blue colour. You want to check on an MX-5 for rust and if the hood is working properly. It's a manual hood, but make sure it's still in good order. But generally, they're quite reliable cars. Really, I have nothing, negative to say about something like this. It was nice to find a good one, and I think for £1,995, that looks to me like a perfectly acceptable one to buy. Next, we've got something quite unusual for someone like me. It's a 1995 Peugeot 205 1.6 Mardi Gras automatic. Now, 205 GTIs have gone up a lot in recent years, and you don't see the sort of more normal models like this anymore on the sort of basis you used to. They're not common street furniture anymore at all. This specification is quite rare. The Mardi Gras was towards the end of production of the 205. I think they stopped selling them in Britain in 1996. So this is very much a kind of, not exactly a collector's item, but it's a fascinating thing to see. The seats are in finest 90s tradition, really strange in this car. It's a red car with bright blue seats. And to see a sort of relatively basic car that is a 1.6 automatic, I think is very, very unusual. It's done 82,000 miles from new. It's got service history, and it's got new MOT. So yes, I mean, it's not exactly me, if that makes sense, But I think for someone, this will make a lovely, lovely modern classic, and I think these are only going to go up in value. Next, we've got a Honda. It's a Honda Prelude. It is, I believe, a 1998, so it's the final generation of Prelude. This particular car has done 63,000 miles, and it's got an MOT until April 2020. There are some advisories on the MOT, but the car's over 20 years old, you know, it's not a huge issue. The rear bumper apparently needs a respray, but the engine, to me, and everything looks really, really good. It's a Honda, so it should be very reliable. These later Preludes are not particularly liked by a lot of people, I think, and you can pick these up for under £1,000, but one that's low mileage like this, and one that's obviously been very well cared for, I think is worth every penny of £1,500, which is what they're asking for this. It is an automatic, so it wouldn't be that sporty, but you know, these never particularly were the refined generation of Prelude. So yes, that would be an interesting classic for someone. And I even like the colour. It's like a nice sort of dark blue colour. Finally, before we look at our last car, I just wanted to say that all the cars will be linked to the description below. Now, if the car sells or the advert's withdrawn, the links won't work. It's something that's happened to a few of these videos we've done over the last couple of weeks. So if you're watching this, I don't know, in a few months' time, then definitely the links won't work. But yes, if you're watching this close to the upload date, then you might still find them for sale, which should be nice. The last one then is a 1997 Mercedes SLK 230. This is the supercharged model. The car apparently does have some nice service history. It has done 97,000 miles. It's silver in colour, which is a classic colour for these. The bodywork's not perfect on this, but it is only £1,500. It's done, it has an MOT until next February, which looks okay. These have an electric roof, which can cause some problems, so you do want to make sure that the roof is in good working order before you buy the car. I definitely say that, but yeah, it's a nice, classy car. A lot of people will think if you if you buy this, then you definitely are doing okay in life, despite the fact it's only about £1,500. I think that's very good value for money indeed.